DreamLeague Season 13 is brought to you by Corsair, Monster Energy, Mercedes-Benz, and DreamHack.
Welcome to wonderful Leipzig, where we are ready for more Dota 2. It's playoff day 3, and it feels like we never really left. We had some Dota a couple of hours ago. We're going to continue right on with more Dota coming your way very, very, very soon. We're going to have elimination games, upper bracket games. You guys all seem very excited for this. I'm here with Owen Fogg and Grant, gentlemen.
Are you serious? We just had 4 BO3,
yes,
all 12 games, and the biggest thing is I would say one of those 12 games was one of those like snoozy farm fest. Besides that, they may have been long games, but they've been super exciting. And I don't know, this patch is seeming to pay off.
Yeah, lots of fighting. Definitely is very beneficial for the viewers.
Yes.
To just sit back and enjoy it, because there's like...
For the viewers,
For the viewers.
Well, for the viewers as well. But
we are also the viewers. And for the commentators as well. And you know what is the best about good Dota and watching it? If you can watch it live, Owen.
Yeah. Oh, and to do that, you're going to need to have a ticket,
yes,
or you're going to need to be able to know how to sneak in the back. But don't do that. Buy a ticket. You can do it over at the website. I believe we've got the link on the screen, and there it is. www.dreamhack.com/DreamLeague.
How do you know there's W's?
There's no W's. Yeah, it's not the World Wide Web.
Yeah, back in my day, you know, you'd have to write the W's. We don't have to write the W's. But if you do, it will be a little quicker, because that's how internet works.
You're worldwide.
Is that how internet works? I don't think so.
Well, I'm just saying, prepare yourself for when we start to colonize these extraterrestrial planets, and we're no longer www. It's, you know, what would it be, right? If it's somewhere based on another planet, it's not the World Wide Web.
Or something.
Yeah, exactly. You know, GGG. You got to prepare for
What does it stand for?
Galaxy Guide Geb. I don't know.
That's pretty good, actually.
I've already signed up for it, actually. Yeah.
How did you know there was you said backslash? How do you know the difference between // and backslash?
What do you mean?
It's always //
Yeah, but I know, but like...
The backslash is the wrong way.
Because it's leaning forward rather than leaning backwards. I mean, if you imagine it, that's a //
Like if you just imagine a human like this.
Well, actually, no, it's not. That's the wrong way around then.
No, it's a //
Yeah, it is. It's leaning forward. It's like a line that's leaning forward. It's a slash that leans forward. What do you mean?
I just was, nothing. You're just very quick about it. That's
all right.
I would have just said slash.
No, I know you guys like to talk.
That's rude. Don't say that.
I know you guys like to talk.
Is that rude in America?
Owen, you guys like to talk. You can talk about a different topic, because I'm going to let you guys talk about rankings. And I know you like your neutral items. We have left it off with tier 2 neutral items.
Oh.
I don't need the full list, but I do want to know, like,
we're going to give you the full list.
Which are the best and which are the worst?
Philosopher's Stone is
pretty top tier.
Pretty top tier Philosopher's Stone.
The best. I would say the best.
And Clumsy Net is pretty high up there too.
I would say tier 2 items are probably the most decisive in like how good they are compared to when you get them in the game. Being able to get a GPM talent super early in the game is just insane. Being a pupil's gift, even 13 strength on any sort of carry is crazy.
That's got to easily be one of the best ones, I think. Compared to some of the other stat things like a Van Brace. Who wants a Van Brace where you can get a pupil's gift?
Can I just say,
it's like the thing about Van Brace, it just feels like it's like a slot saver. It's like, oh, nice, I got space to buy
X
money. Other thing.
No, pupil's gift doesn't cost money.
But you can have your support spend it.
Yeah, but they never do.
Nobody really.
If I ask the supporters in my game, hey, can you build me a van brace? They're just, I'm going to get some very nasty words.
It lowers your net worth though, so your buyback is actually less when you get van brace as a carry, which is kind of nice.
That is one of those things that don't
bit.
matter in the majority of the games. I know that
you say
technically the mass is there and it makes a difference, but those sort of different. As I said, van brace for me is. Don't fall for it. It's not that great. Everything else is.
It's the weakest. I agree.
It's Van Brace and Nethershall. Nethershall is
Nethershall is the worst.
It's incredibly situational.
What?
Exactly, it can be. But all the others, right? They're good anyway. Nethershall is good. There's going to be some games where Nethershall's just useless.
That item is a free hood on an Agi carry. You realize?
Yeah,
right?
against a team that doesn't have any magic damage and in some Drow SF Venge lineup is useless, right? There's
fair. Yeah.
Out
You're
of these
losing
items,
things. What
there
do
are
you
more
lose?
games where the Nethershall's useless.
Do you lose like 35 attack speed or attack damage or something stupid?
Which one?
With the Philosopher's Stone.
The shawl.
No, that's
You
not.
lose-
that's
yeah,
the
Philosopher's Stone. You lose the.
You lose armor.
You lose a
Shaw,
lot of
you lose
armor.
like 3 or 4 armor.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so you still lose something. I don't
do
like
lose
the
something.
abilities that you lose something unless I get gold in return.
Yeah, the trade-off is if you get a full magic lineup, then Nethershall's amazing. But most of the games, it's probably not going to be that good.
Essence Ring IO, pretty good.
Essence String and Clumsy Net for me are my favorite ones, at least as a support player, because
Wow.
I think they just make it so ridiculous. Essence String makes you always have full mana in team fights. I feel like you have this big heal that's just amazing. Clumsy Net just gives you literally an Atos for free in a lot of times. It just gives you this amazing catch. You don't have a catching hero, now you have one because you get a Clumsy Net.
Yeah.
How do you imagine it works, right? Because you net yourself. So, like, what are you doing? You, like, have the net and you're like, ooh, got you. Whoa, got myself. Like, how does it work?
It just backfires.
Like that, right?
But then
No,
why
but
did
how?
it net
Where
them
does
as
the
well?
net? Where does the second net come from?
Yeah.
You know, let's say you're standing
Ice
in the
Frog?
forest. You've got this net, and I'm ready to catch Grant, right? Throwing out the net.
Whoa.
Grant
clip my
gets
ankle.
caught, and then. Where does the other net come from that I am netted to?
Well,
Oh, wait, I get
you have
all
to-
caught up in the net as well, and I'm just tangled with the rope that is hanging from the net. I get it. All right, Laura is saved. I lost
Yeah.
my pen.
That's what I see it as.
We're ranking this on lore, right?
Yeah. Other things about I kind of have vampire fangs. I think compared to the other, short life still is nice, but you'd rather have some good old stats.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean?
it stops you from
I don't
having
think
to
vampire
buy
fangs are
life
that
steal.
hot.
Like
That's
some
the-
heroes, you want to buy life steal on anyway. Now you don't have to.
sure. Again, I mean, we're trying to make a sort of a tiering, and I think just compared to some of the straight up stat
Agreed.
things like Aquilas and anything that has stats involved, it's just going to feel good.
All right.
Agreed.
Well, tomorrow we'll go for the tier 3s, and we're working our way up there, giving you guys some information as we go. We're going to talk about our next topic, which is actually the only Norwegian pro Dota 2 player in the world.
Grant?
I think I'm the only Norwegian pro at the moment. I think there are like many Norwegian players who are like getting higher in rank in MMO. Like I've seen like few of them coming up to, like I played against few of them. I also play with them in high rank. So I think there are some Norwegian players are like getting a lot better, and they're like probably in a year maybe see another Norwegian pro. The reason why there's not so many Norwegian pros in Dota, I think it's also a part of Norway is not like very supportive of esports just yet. And a lot of the young players, they play like Fortnite and League of Legends. It's hardly like, you barely know any young players that knows Dota. But they are still like players that play Dota, but they're more like above the 20 years old age. I also went to this esports school. They didn't even have Dota 2 as a topic for the game. They only had CSGO and League of Legends. And I was the only guy who wanted to play Dota 2. So I went there in CSGO class, and I just sneak myself in there just to play Dota. And then they made it, because I was very serious about becoming pro, so they made an exception to make Dota 2 class only just for me. I don't really have a message, but I have to help them to inspire them to play Dota. I think the only way for me to do that is right now is just to prove them that I can win tournaments, that a Norwegian guy can do it.
So they find a kill now. Taiga, like we said, he does so much damage. Again, after imprisonment, they just don't have it. It's not going to be enough, are they? Oh, but they take down no one. They find a kill. He's done. He's doing it.
Even how complicated the game is, you can do it as long as you put as much time into it as I did.
You just got to put in the time, put in the effort, and then you kind of also have the skill. I think he forgets that part.
Yeah, I was like, Owen plays 18 hours a day. I'm seeing his point.
That sounds like they got it all figured out in Norway, doesn't it? It's very different over there. You know, you got Tiger.
real?
He's in his CS:GO classes trying to sneak in a bit of Dota. Back in my day, you'd be in a geography class. You may be looking up Mount Everest on Wikipedia. I'm trying to get up Kitten Cannon and just play on the Flash games.
That is crazy.
He's living in a different world.
He says, Norway is not very supportive yet of esports, but
He's got a CS:GO class.
I went to esports school.
Yeah, right. Like I don't know. I didn't even heard of that. Like,
That's awesome, though.
Yeah.
Super cool.
it's starting to get bigger in a lot of places too, though, right? Like in the U.S., when I was going through school, going through college, there was like the esports stuff, like no way. But now there's like scholarships and all that kind of shit. So. It's pretty
It's
cool.
interesting. I mean, normally I don't really believe in them. I mean, I'm a traditional guy. I'm like, get your education, kids, play your games on the side. But hey, you look at Tiger. He went to school and he's actually a very, very good
what he's
player.
doing.
So, well, hey, what? It pays off.
Yep.
I'm glad they made an
Pays off.
exception for him in class
Me too.
to allow him to play.
To allow that one game. Just
allow
for
that
that
Willow
one
game.
game.
Just that Willow game.
That Dark Willow. Oh,
He
man.
practiced hard for that.
He
He's been getting more and more limelight. He's still growing.
Yes, it's great, right? They've been together for about 2 years now, and these players are a little more behind. I think this tournament is I mean, that one game really was just like a super big breakout for him.
Yeah, I've still always liked to watch Tiger, though. I think he's been like this kind of like, overshadowed four-position player when he's playing like his Earth Spirits and stuff like that. Even in the past, he has been pretty dominant on it, but he does have some like big names right on his team. He has a Koikfor that just like is really always.
And even the other
fun.
fours, right? If you just compare fours in the world, you have these Yapzors, these crits. So even if you are like maybe the top 1%, you still have those other big guys overshadowing you, like you said.
Yeah, we are of course going to be able to see Tiger play today.
Oh, yeah.
Liquid has a series in the lower bracket against Na'Vi. We'll see how that goes, and we are going to talk about the topic that you chose for us. So every day there's a community topic. This time round, the topic is, what do you know for sure?
What?
Well,
George Washington was the first U.S. president. I
Was
know
he
that
actually?
for sure.
What came before him?
what?
Like,
Tyranny? I don't know.
I know for sure that Fogg is wearing bacon and egg socks.
Oh my God, I just want to eat
Not
those
anymore.
socks right up.
Not anymore.
I'm actually starving looking at them.
Give us a crazy fun fact, Fogg, that you know for sure.
I know for sure that my vision is terrible. Yeah.
Cool.
I have bad vision. I don't know. I'm blind without my glasses. There you go.
Oh,
I
dude,
know
me
that
too.
for sure.
What do you know your vision? I'm like 380, 400 without mine.
What?
I'm legally blind without glasses.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm like negative. Say, I have no idea. Like -6. Or I have like really bad eyes.
So, but when he says -6, is it that on the same scale as you saying 300?
I think it's like a Celsius Fahrenheit kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wait, we're both in the same area.
yeah. Oh God. Owen, what do you know?
It's 300.
I don't know a lot. I mean, I don't. The answer to that question
One
is
fact. Give us one fact.
Give us one fact.
one fact.
What do you know for sure?
Give us a music fact. You've got a
No, I
million.
don't have any music facts. I learned that there's a fish called the bummelo, and I really like that.
What?
Yeah.
Is it edible or is it just
You can
swimmy
eat
thing?
it. It's
The bummelo.
Fish from Southeast Asia.
Cool.
They're called the bummelo. I was just looking up the other day because I was bored, as you do.
I was just
I was
looking up
Googling
fishes.
like rude names of animals that actually exist, and there was the bummelo.
Did you get like
Googling
clickbaited
this.
on something or something? Top 20 rude
No,
names of animals.
see,
No one's like, ooh.
a normal
Buffalo.
person would find this as a clickbait. For me, I'm just sat there thinking like, what shall I Google today?
Animal names that are rude.
The bummelo, otherwise known as the Bombay duck, which is not a duck, it's a fish.
The Bombay duck.
Yes,
Yeah.
But it's not a duck.
but it's not a duck.
No,
But do you know that for
that's
sure?
the next stage of the process, isn't it? It's like tadpoles to frogs, fish to duck.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's how it works.
What?
Isn't
That's
it?
how it works.
Yeah.
I learned that at esports school.
Well, at least, you went to an esports school. That's nice. Where you learned about tadpoles and ducks. I don't know where this is going, guys. I only know one thing for sure. Well, actually, on top of the fact that Fogg is wearing egg and bacon socks. I also know for sure that we're going to move on with the show, which in this case means that Owen and Fogg will be played off by Thomas.
Oh.
And we are going to welcome two other people. Later, guys.
Bye, thank you. It is warm. I was holding that pretty tight.
Tadpoles and ducks?
Interesting. Thank you, Owen.
I don't even know. Thanks, Owen. Indeed, learning something new every day. Now, I did say we are making space for 2 other people, so let's welcome in Capitalist and Kazu. You can give us some cartwheels if you really want.
He can do it. I'm not doing another cartwheel.
It's too early in the day for him.
I'll do another one when I come on with Grant. How about that?
That sounds like a plan.
Oh, God. More physical activity. It was hard enough once.
I know one thing for sure. Grant can do a cartwheel.
Yes.
Yes, we
Everybody
have
was
all
very
seen it.
surprised by that. Not me, though, Grant. I believed in your athletic
Thank you.
prowess.
Dude, I used to be able to run a sub 6-minute mile.
That
Now
is
look at me.
impressive.
That is impressive.
Yeah, that was
What
probably
happened?
about 11. I don't know. No, a lot.
A lot.
Yes.
Well, we have a series coming up later today that the graphics team's very excited about.
True.
Evil Genius
Yeah.
versus Vici Gaming will be later today. We take a look at the brackets and see where everything is and what's happening, just so that you know exactly what is going on and where we are headed with this, because we're going to start off this time around with the lower brackets. So the last few days, we've had the upper bracket first every time around. This time we're starting with the lower brackets. TNC Fnatic, 1 team eliminated. Liquid Na'Vi, 1 team eliminated. And then we're going to stop with the eliminations for a little bit. And we are going to move to the upper bracket. E.g. Vici Gaming and Secret Alliance. You know what? Yesterday when we mentioned the matchups, I believe we said something like, we're thinking Alliance Na'Vi will be our most even series of the day.
Yep. Well,
Boy, were we wrong.
yeah, and even today. I mean, today I can't choose a favorite game that I would want to watch. I actually think
Yeah.
they're all really exciting, like all 4 of them.
I agree. There is no,
I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
There's definitely
What?
a series that
Okay.
stands out a little bit
Spill the
more
beans.
than the rest.
the only one I would say is I think Secret's got definitely more than a leg up over Alliance.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think the marquee matchups, EG versus Vici, and that's just 'cause
Yes.
I think if you go into this tournament, right, the top 3 teams for most people was in no order, probably like Vici, Secret, and EG. I don't know if you guys had anyone different, but seeing all 3 of those teams in the winner bracket's always good.
Yeah, and I think we're going to have like a great casting team covering that as well, so it should be pretty entertaining. So I'm looking forward to it personally. I think a lot of people should tune into that one.
Who's casting this, Cap? You want to just
I think Kyle's casting it.
Yeah.
He's really good.
Solo cast.
Is it solo cast?
He's with someone.
Oh.
Someone. He's pretty good.
We've heard from the grapevine.
It might be me. It might be. You got it.
But then we also have another, region kill, Fnatic versus TNC. We seem to have quite a few of those for this tournament. But hey, you got to play up to your seed, or you got to play down to it, depending on where you're at. And instead, we're going to get this bloodbath of a game.
I think it's a really cool storyline, right? That TNC has to go through and just knock out the rest of the C teams if they want to be able to move further in the tournament. But they are probably not coming into this in the favorites because Fnatic looks really good. Even if they didn't manage to beat Secret, they were so close. And Secret's probably one of the best teams here still. So it definitely, my stock in Fnatic is very high. There's also a motivation issue, right?
Yeah.
TNC,
No,
the easy road, baby. They're cruising to TI. They don't have to worry about it.
They don't.
Fnatic, 9th through 12th, that's not enough to get you to TI.
No, and the rough part for Fnatic as well is, so last major, they struggled a little bit. They started out in the loser bracket and they did win their best of ones, but then they were eliminated at this very spot. They were eliminated 9th, 12th, and it's not enough. And it was a disappointment for them. And then going into this, expectations were, because of that, probably not that high. And they've been doing super well, but if they get eliminated at this point, it would be a massive disappointment for them again.
No, definitely. I mean, against Secret, they played really well. They were close to winning 2 of the games.
Yeah.
2-0, yeah.
Yeah, like they were doing really well. They played their IO fairly well in their games. I mean, the first game went really well for them. Secret didn't really stand a chance, at least at the end. Third game was a bit different. And then, well, TNC, they haven't looked that great. I mean, yesterday, I think they played. They got a good win there against Reality Rift. But overall, they haven't looked that good. At least if you compare them to Fnatic
I would definitely say the Fnatic are the favorites. In this
Yeah,
matchup.
I mean, just look at their groups, right? They lost to Aster, I think was their last series that they got knocked out. Like, that's pretty disappointing because they don't hold Aster in especially high esteem. So, I don't know, TNC, maybe this could just be a matchup thing as well. TNC and Fnatic are obviously going to know each other, so it's one of those things where you just can't take the strength of their opponents. These matchups are always a little special.
Yeah, so let's hear a little bit from March and how he felt before this series.
So playing against Fnatic, they're really good friends of mine and my ex-teammates or the team that I coach at the TI9. So yeah, it's going to be a really fun match for me. I think I personally know them, but to be honest, we didn't play against each other too much. They were boot camping in Europe, we were boot camping in Southeast Asia, so didn't really practice any game against them. It's going to be fun.
Interesting.
Yeah, Fnatic
Apparently they don't know each other at all.
No, but Fnatic bootcamping in Europe explains a lot.
It explains maybe why they had such good games against Secret. They probably played them quite a few times then.
Exactly, I would imagine so. And for Fnatic, obviously, they then practiced in their own region, Southeast Asia, and they would have had a very different style of Dota to play there.
Yeah, I mean, we had the European team still in the upper bracket, so maybe Europe had the meta a little bit more developed. That was something that, looking at the drafts and how they developed for both of these teams, I felt like Fnatic came into this tournament already with a strong understanding. I mean, just look at their very first opening. They just, I think a lot of drafting for especially second pick right now is getting just those strong core support combos that you can just rely upon. Those IO gyrocopters, those Naga Siren disruptors, and that's what they opened with in their very first game. And you could see throughout the tournament, they always identified like just strong bases to have draft openers. And I think openers are a really good way to show that a team is prepared for a patch.
And when you're talking about draft openers, I'm going to talk about draft closers, because it seems like Fnatic has been closing their drafts with the Ice hero. And speaking of Ice, we're going to hear from him right now.
The game is going to be really different actually, because we haven't streamed against them at all ever since TI. I guess it's just the way we have been doing things, and we don't find streaming very much helpful. We're gonna win, I hope. Oh, nice.
We're gonna win. Bye. We're gonna find scrims very helpful. Now, I do want to say that these two teams did play each other in the qualifiers for this major, and it was actually Fnatic that 2-0'd TNC and knocked TNC down to the lower bracket of those qualifiers. Well, Fnatic just had the easy road after that to qualify. But that's the only real matchup they've had recently. That being said, Fnatic has really not played that much. Like, they played in the major, bummed out. They played in this major, but then TNC, they played Hamburg. They play everywhere, and they won Hamburg, and they won the major, obviously the previous one, and then they also played in the Singapore event. They have been playing a lot more.
How did they do that event again?
I think they came 5-6 or 7-8. 7-8 out of 12. But that was already when they were a little bit more relaxed, I guess.
You being on a team, can you overexpose yourself playing too much Dota? Like,
certainly. Yeah, like you want to make sure you don't, burn yourself out. Don't play too much Dota. Give your boys some time to play the new patch, play some new pubs, get adjusted to all these new items, new heroes. So I definitely think, you want to find a fine balance. Where everyone feels good, people feel comfortable, but you also want to get enough games in as a team together to, work on your strategies.
What about exposing yourself? Like, not necessarily like players getting burnt out and stuff, but what about just showing too much of your team to other teams when it comes to scrims and stuff?
I think that depends, of course. I mean, there's different ways how you can go about it. You don't need to play too many different strategies. I mean, if you play in tournaments, that are maybe not super important, you don't have to show all your crazy picks. Maybe play some of the same style, practice your more secret stuff in scrims, keep it more hidden. So there's different ways to go about it.
Definitely felt like looking at the drafts, TNC was their identity and what they were drafting for this patch was evolving as the tournament went on. Meanwhile, Fnatic seemed like they had a more solid base, but they were still experimenting a little bit. Maybe a failed experiment, the Medusa, which they won one game, but then lost and then just haven't picked again since. I think it was maybe... I'm not sure they matched up against in the groups, but it was a tough team.
Yeah, they lost against they picked the Medusa into the PL, right?
Yeah, they played it against Nigma. And that was a rough series.
I could see him bringing it back again. I think that's one of those heroes like no one else is playing against, and it is a hero you like if you don't account for in the game, it will just win the game at a certain point.
During the game, of course, people can once again vote for the MVP. That's all up to you. You gotta put those votes in with the hashtags. Here's all the commands. Make sure you take note of how every name is written. I don't think that there's too many difficult words here, so you will be okay. Is there anybody in particular that you're gonna look to in this match, Kezu? Who's catching your eye? Who do you always, like, as an offlaner, would you pay attention to the offlaners more, or?
Maybe a little bit, but nothing too crazy, really. I think I don't even know if I have specific players I look at. Woof.
Yeah, can we get the camera on TNC at all? They're having
losing it
over
having
here.
So much fun.
They're giggling, they're laughing. They did a nice little cheer for TNC.
I like how the admin
they're ready to
keep a
go.
straight face.
Meanwhile, Fnatic, they're like huddled together, just like talking seriously about the game. It looks like.
I mean, and it's true, right? One team's pretty much qualified to TI. The other, they really do need to win like 1 or 2 more series to help them get there.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're going to get to the draft very soon, but first, a break. We'll be right back.